Hi, I'm Sara Oehler and I'm from SoftFlexCompany.com. I'm actually on vacation this week, so we pre-recorded this video in order to show you a few new products that we're adding. And we will be posting it just a little earlier in the day than I normally would be on, because at 3 o'clock today, you can find Abby Berta from the Bead Place and Kristen Fagan from Softflex Company having a live beading party on our Softflex Company Facebook and YouTube channel. So you can check that out at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry I'm gonna miss the fun, but I didn't wanna miss out on using these new components from TierraCast. So I am going to switch to my hand cam and we're gonna take a look. I made a necklace and I am gonna show it to you and then make it again in a new colorway. So thank you for joining me today. You can find all of these components, the tools and the wire, and everything I use at SoftFlexCompany.com. So here are some of the new components that we received recently from TierraCast. They are made in the USA. They're brand new components that they just launched recently in the last few weeks. And they go along with a lot of our Western findings that we put in stock for the TGBE Tucson show. And so we added in this beautiful cactus scenery frame. And then there are some great little spacer beads. We have them in silver and gold. They're going in the shop today. If they aren't already there at SoftFlexCompany.com, they will be soon. And then we added this sweet longhorn charm as well. And so I put together the silver version first and thought that I would show you how to put together a reverse colorway using the gold as well and mixing a little bit of silver in with the gold. So you can find these 3 new items as well as some really great country western charms. We have revolvers, we have or six shooters, I don't know what you even call them. We have cowboy boots and cacti and just quite a few really cute little Southwest charms that you could also choose instead of the longhorn if you wanted to at the bottom. Cowboy hats. I mean, really, there's a bunch of options. So check that out. And this frame, I think, is just so spectacular. You could use it as an earring and do some drops down from it, or like I am, a centerpiece, but you could probably use it even in a bracelet, and you could clip your clasp right to it. In fact, you could clasp on either side if you wanted to. I mean, there's really lots of options with these guys. And Southwest jewelry is just so popular. I think it's going to be a big hit. So first I'm going to make the bottom. I'm using a 20 gauge Softflex craft wire. This is a copper based wire. This particular one has a silver plating, and then it has a non-tarnish coating over the top of it. That means it'll stay this nice bright silver color. We do carry this in gold as well. If you wanted to do it in gold with the gold findings, that would make a whole lot of sense. I don't have it here on hand, and so I was just going to mix metals and do a little silver with this, and then use silver crimps when I'm attaching at the top to sort of mix those colors up a little bit. But you could go all gold with gold craft wire and gold crimps as well if you wanted to. So first things first, whenever I take wire off of one of these spools, I grab my nylon jaw pliers so I can just pull that nice and clean. I hope you guys are having the best week. I suspect I'm having a fantastic week because I'm on vacation. I'm filming this a couple days before we leave, and I'm feeling the panic of having to pack and get everything ready. But I know we are going to have such a good time once we get going. So I'm trying to stay focused on that part. Okay, so I've got my piece of wire. I'm going to take my round nose plier, and because I'm connecting to a pretty good sized bar there, I'm going to go at least halfway down my plier to here. I'm going to point towards me to make a 90-degree angle, and then away from me to make half the loop, adjust my plier and bring it around. So now I'm just going to slide this open without losing my loop and attach onto my finding. And then I can come back in either with my round nose or my chain nose. This is a chain nose. It has a flat inside with a point at the tip. I'm going to come on in and just kind of hold that loop together and then pull the wire around to complete my loop. And then I can go ahead and trim using the flat side of my precision cutters. Always cover up that little nib of wire that's going to go flying, especially if you don't have glasses on. You want to be real careful that, or someone's near you. And I'm just going to close this down. You don't want that to fly in someone's eye. It'd be serious business. Okay, so now I've got my wire attached. I'm going to string on my beads. So I'm stringing on, these are really great little drop melons. We have them in 4 colors. This turquoise color is great, but we also have them in red, purple, and gold. And I was really struggling. I was thinking this gold one would be really fun, but I decided just to go completely opposite of what I had done before. And I like the purple too, because it's like a really beautiful translucent, almost like a tanzanite color. So it can be really pretty as well. Okay, so I've got that great little spacer bead that's brand new. It's got a little flower on it. And then we also have these rondelles in 4 colors. I'm using the red, but they come in, oh, it looks like I'm maybe missing a color. Oh, maybe not. Here's the red. We have them in red, black, olive green, and then we have them in that turquoise color too. Perfect for Southwest. So you can see how this is shaping up. Now I'm going to make another connection at the bottom, and I'm going to connect to my longhorn. So this time I don't have to worry about the loop being quite so big if I don't want it to be. I do want it to face the same direction as this loop. And so I'm going to make sure I'm kind of facing that way. And then I will go ahead and loop around, leaving it a little bit open so that I can connect in my longhorn. Like so. And then holding and giving it a couple wraps up to the bead. And if your longhorn for some reason isn't facing the way you want it to, got to kind of check it out. You can always kind of spin these links so that they're straighter and it hangs just perfectly. Ooh, I'm liking how that's turning out. Okay, so next we're going to take some soft flex beading wire. I already cut a big long piece. Let me see how long this is. It's probably about 2.5 feet. From my fingertips to the middle of my chest, and I'm about 5 feet tall. So I'm going to grab silver crimps, like I said, since I'm mixing metals here. And I have a 2x2 soft flex crimp tube. Our crimp tubes are really thick, very strong, very solid. And they come in 4 different metals. I'm using sterling today, but there are other options. If you want to use the gold filled, you totally could. I'm just going to string it through the top of my piece here. I love pieces like this that have all these openings, so you can do all sorts of connecting in different directions. I've straightened out my wires inside of the crimp tube, and now I'm going to come in with my magical crimping pliers. You couldn't get away without ravioli time, even when I'm on vacation. It's ravioli time. Here we go. I squeeze it once and I get a little 4-corner ravioli, and then turn it on its side and continue to compress. So by now, you guys might even be starting joyful beading. Kristen and I were looking at the calendar. It is National Craft Month in March, and we sometimes do something called joyful beading in our Flex BIB Facebook group. You can go there and download a calendar of jewelry making prompts, and then we give away a store credit every day. I mean, we do it the day after, to somebody who followed the jewelry making prompt and posted their jewelry design. So we would love to see what you make. The idea is just to get you making, you know, even if the prompt is something you already have, the idea is more that you're making that day and all month long in celebration of National Craft Month. And then hopefully you win a little store credit to use as well. So I strung on one of my melon drops, 3 of my rondelles, 1 melon drop, and now I'm going to string on another crimp tube. And then I'll go ahead and keep stringing for the other side. So first comes a crimp tube. And now I'm actually stringing for this side, so I want to string the melons in the same direction so that they make sense. And these little rondelles actually have a little bit of a coating on one side, so I strung with the coating down on each of them on that side. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Those little details can be nice to kind of pay attention to. Okay, and then one more crimp. I'm going to attach to my centerpiece first, and then I'll go back and crimp those beads in place. So I'm just going to come in right next to that last piece. And you may want to hold it up, make sure it's the right length. I'm not too concerned about it, but you might want to test it out and see if it fits well, if it's falling where you want it to be before you crimp this crimp, because this will be the crimp that attaches, and you'll have to cut it apart if you have to change the size. So again, I'm going to center inside of that magical crimper and then compress to get my little ravioli, go around. So give me a thumbs up or a heart if you're surprised to see a video from me today while I'm on vacation. It's sort of a little bit of a surprise, isn't it? I really appreciate all those thumbs ups and likes and hearts and shares. Thank you. That always really helps us as a small business reach more and more people. So very last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to attach just a little crimp above each of the beads. So I'm just making a little extra piece of wire here because I am going to string it into that crimp, and it's just going to give me a little bit more wire for that crimp to hang on to. I'm going to come in and center my crimp tube and then sort of pull up against my bead so I can get in as close as possible. This wire is going to naturally build in just a little bit of a barrier, and that's a good thing. You never want your crimp to be so tight up against the beads that there's no flexibility. So jewelry is meant to be worn, it's meant to be flexible. And so it's good to have that little tiny bit of extra space, but you don't want so much space that it's obvious. So there we go, we got that side, and then one more side over here. String your little extra wire in there. I just trim it off on either side so you never know it was even there, but it just adds a little bit more for that crimp to really grip onto, because if you think about what I'm doing, I'm compressing the edges of the tube into that nylon coating on the wire. and that it grips down on it. So it's important that there's enough nylon, enough wire there for it to really be able to get a good hold. And there we go. We've got a nice, long, beautiful Southwest design using these beautiful new components from our friends at TierraCast. TierraCast is located in Santa Rosa, which is in Sonoma County, just like us. We're in actual Sonoma, but same county. They are made in the USA. We have a lot of different findings from TierraCast. So if you like the longhorn or the cactus or the special little spacer bead, make sure you check out our entire website of findings from TierraCast. And starting today, we have 20% off on all of our new items. So that would include all of the new Czech Glass Beads, this fantastic new Tucson trio. It's going to include these new parts, but lots and lots of other things as well. And you'll be able to find all of that on our website, which is softflexcompany.com. Thank you so much for joining me today here in my my pre-recorded video. Please leave me a comment and let me know you watched. And please click the like and subscribe button and the follow button if you're on Facebook. We love you guys, and we hope you're having a great week. And I will see you next week when I am back from my vacation. And you can find everything that I showed you today is available at softflexcompany.com.